those who are followers of the Shankara cult are generally known as Vedantists. Um, they have propagated, Shankaracharya's followers have propagated the idea that they are followers of the Vedanta. Vedanta actually refers to the Upanishads. The final conclusions of the Vedas are presented generally in the Upanishads more explicitly than in the other portions of the Vedic scriptures. And the Vedanta Sutra clarifies the meaning of the Upanishads. And the followers of the Shankara line, they call themselves Vedantists. This does not, however, mean that Vedanta is a monopoly study of the Shankara Sampradaya. Vedanta is studied by all the bona fide Sampradayas, but they have their own interpretations. But generally, only those in the Shankara Sampradaya are known as Vedantists, and people have no knowledge of the Vaishnava Vedantists. This is simply due to ignorance. Due to ignorance, people think that the Vaishnavas are not interested in the study of the Upanishads or the Vedanta Sutra. Sometimes the problem is compounded by members of the Vaishnava Sampradayas who also claim not to be interested, who also say that the Vaishnava Sampradaya is not interested in the Vedanta Sutra. But factually speaking, all bona fide Vaishnavas, they are very much fixed in Vedanta Darshana. The philosopher, here is a quote from Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila, one purport where Prabhupada talks about this. The philosophers known as Kevaladvaitavadis, these are the Mayavadis, followers of Shankaracharya, generally occupy themselves with hearing the Shariraka Bhashya, a commentary by Shankaracharya advocating that one impersonally consider oneself the Supreme Lord. Such Mayavad philosophical commentaries upon the Vedanta Sutra are simply imaginary, but there are other commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra. The commentary by Srila Ramanujacharya, known as Sri Bhashya, establishes the Vishishtadvaitavada philosophy. Similarly, in the Brahma Sampradaya, Madhvacharya's Purna Pragya Bhashya establishes Shuddha Dvaitavada. In the Kumara Sampradaya or Nimbarka Sampradaya, Sri Nimbarka establishes the philosophy of Dvaitadvaitavada in the Parijata Saurabha Bhashya. And in the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya or Rudra Sampradaya, which comes from Lord Shiva, Vishnu Swami has written a commentary called Sarvagya Bhashya, which establishes Shuddhadvaitavada. Now, these are the four authentic Vedic lines of education in Kali Yuga. Chatvaraste kalau bhavya hyutkale purushottamat. Atah kalau bhavishyanti chatvara sampradayana. In Kali Yuga there will be four sampradayas. This has been stated in the Padma Purana, and it has been quoted by Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushana. This is Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushana in his Pramaya Ratnavali. He says, Bhavati vichintya vidusham nirravakara guru parampara nityam ekantitvam siddhyati yaya udayati yena haritoshaha. That one should meditate upon the guru parampara, the spotless guru parampara of the learned Vaishnavas, because by doing that one can attain pure devotional service to the Supreme Lord, and by which one receives the mercy of the Lord, because the Lord would be satisfied by that. Lord Hari would be satisfied by that. Yaduktam Padma Purane. And this is stated in the Padma Purana. Sampradaya vihina ye mantraste nishphala matah atah kalau bhavishyanti chatvara sampradayinaha. Mantras which have not been received from bona fide disciplic successions are considered fruitless. Therefore, in Kali Yuga, there would be four acharyas who propagate authentic Vedic sampradayas: Sri Brahma Rudra Sanaka, Vaishnava, Kshitipavana, Chatvaraste Kalau Bhavya Hyutkale Purushottamat. The four Vaishnavas, Sri, or the goddess of fortune, Lord Brahma, Lord Rudra, and the Kumaras. These are Vaishnavas, and they purify the earth. So these four would be present uh, in the form of their disciplic lines in the age of Kali, and specifically they would propagate their disciplic lines by the mercy of Lord Purushottama in Utkala, Orissa, at Jagannath Puri. Ramanujam Shri Swichakre, the goddess of fortune, accepted Ramanuja as her representative. Madhvacharyam Chaturmukha, the four faced Lord Brahma, accepted Madhvacharya as his representative. Sri Vishnu Swaminam Rudro, Lord Rudra, Lord Shiva, he accepted Sri Vishnu Swami as his representative. Nimbadityam Chatussanaha, and the Chatush Kumar, the four Kumaras, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, Sanat Kumar, they accepted Nimbarka or Nimbaditya as their representative. So these four teachers of the Vedic scriptures are authentic, as you can see, authenticated by the Padma Purana itself. And they have established the proper teachings of the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra through their writings. A Vaishnava should study the commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra written by the four Sampradaya Acharyas, namely Sri Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, and Nimbarka. In the Vishnu Swami line came Vallabhacharya, who also wrote a commentary on Vedanta Sutra called Anubhashya. And in the Nimbarka line came Keshava Kashmiri, who, after he was blessed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a debate in Navadvip, went off and became a pure Vaishnava in the Nimbarka line. It's a great Acharya in that line. So a Vaishnava should study these commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra, for these commentaries are based upon the philosophy that the Lord is the master and that all living entities are his eternal servants. One interested in studying Vedanta philosophy properly must study these commentaries, especially if he is a Vaishnava. These commentaries are always adored by Vaishnavas. But people generally do not have much knowledge of Vaishnava Vedanta. They do not know about the Acharyas who have commented extensively on the Vedanta Sutra. For instance, Ramanujacharya has given three commentaries on the Vedanta Sutra: Sri Bhashya, Vedanta Deepa, and Vedanta Sara. Madhvacharya has given four different commentaries on Vedanta Sutra. One is called Purna Pragya Bhashya, another is called Anuvyakhyana, which is a very celebrated book in which he thoroughly refutes Mayavad. Then he presented one Anubhashya, one summary commentary on Vedanta Sutra, and he also presented Nyaya Vivarana. So in that way, you find that the Acharyas have commented extensively on Vedanta Sutra. In our own line, we have Acharya Baladev Vidyabhushan's commentary called the Govinda Bhashya, and he wrote a sub-commentary on it called the Sukshma Tika. He also wrote a supplement to Govinda Bhashya called Bhashya Pitaka or Siddhanta Ratna, and he wrote a sub-commentary on that too called Sukshma Tika. Then when his students asked him what is the essence, the gist of Govinda Bhashya, then he presented this book, Prameya Ratnavali, and one of his students has given a commentary on Prameya Ratnavali. So in that way we notice that Vaishnavas are not shy of the Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra, but generally the ignorant populace thinks that followers of Shankaracharya are the Vedantists. For this reason, the Bhaktivedanta title was first offered to the author by the Vaishnavas, to make it clear that it is Bhakti which is the conclusion of Vedanta. The Lord agreed to take lessons from Bhattacharya on the Vedanta, and they sat together in the temple of Lord Jagannath. The Bhattacharya went on speaking continually for 7 days, and the Lord heard him with all attention and did not interrupt. The Lord's silence raised some doubts in Bhattacharya's heart, and he asked the Lord how it was that he did not ask anything or comment on his explanations of Vedanta. The Lord posed himself before the Bhattacharya as a foolish student and pretended that he heard the Vedanta from him because the Bhattacharya felt that this was the duty of a sannyasi. But the Lord did not agree with his lectures. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very, very interestingly commented, "Oh, I can understand the Vedanta Sutra, I just don't understand the commentary on the Vedanta Sutra that you are speaking on." In other words, he said that Vyasadeva makes perfect sense. Vyasadeva is the author of the Vedanta Sutra. But Shankaracharya, the author of the Shariraka Bhashya commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, his commentary makes no sense. By this, the Lord indicated that the so-called Vedantists amongst the Shankara Sampradaya or any other Sampradaya who do not follow the instructions of Srila Vyasadeva are mechanical students of the Vedanta. The Shankara Sampradaya, they do not directly follow the instructions of Srila Vyasadeva. Srila Vyasadeva makes it very, very clear. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. One should inquire unto Brahman, the Supreme Absolute Truth, who is defined by Vyasadeva himself in the very next sutra. Janmadyasya yataha. That Brahman, who is meant to be inquired upon, is the cause of the creation, maintenance, dissolution, etc. of this manifest universe. So it's very, very clear. However, Shankaracharya does a lot of intellectual gymnastics to point out that in his view, the Brahman, knowledge of whom will lead to absolute liberation from material entanglement, is not that Brahman who is the cause of the creation, maintenance, dissolution, etc. of the manifested universe. Rather, it is some impersonal, unified plane of undifferentiated consciousness. But if you go through the Vedanta Sutra, you do not come across that at all. And the Vaishnavas have been very, very strong and powerfully pointing out this. Therefore, Prabhupada says here that the Vedantists among the Shankara Sampradaya or any other Sampradaya, if they don't agree with Vyasadeva's conclusions, then certainly they are not followers of the Vedanta. They are not fully aware of that great knowledge. The explanation of the Vedanta Sutra is given by the author himself in the text of Srimad Bhagavatam. One who has no knowledge of the Bhagavatam will hardly be able to know what the Vedanta says. The Vedanta has been explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam itself. The Srimad Bhagavatam is a direct explanation of the Vedanta Sutra. This is very clear because the Srimad Bhagavatam has as its subject matter Satyam Param, the Supreme Absolute Truth, as we will see in Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 1. And it begins with the very same text that appears in the Vedanta Sutra, Text 1. So it is very clear that the Srimad Bhagavatam is an exposition of the Vedanta Sutra. It is also explicitly stated in the Garuda Purana, Arthoyam Brahma Sutranam Bharatartha Vinirnaya. That this clarifies the meaning of the Mahabharata, and this presents the purport of the Vedanta Sutra itself. So because Vyasadeva himself is the author of the Vedanta Sutra and he is also the author of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and both of them have the same subject matter, therefore the Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural explanation, a Kritrima Bhashya, a non-artificial commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. And therefore those who do not understand the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Vyasadeva's own elaboration of the intricacies and teachings of the Vedanta Sutra, will hardly be able to understand Vedanta Sutra. The Bhattacharya, being a vastly learned man, could follow the Lord's sarcastic remarks on the popular Vedantist.